Hello everyone, welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here. We are going to dive right into your reading today. We're going to just jump in and get started. Spirit, what messages does Pisces need to know? What does Pisces need to know right now? What is in Pisces' highest and best good to know right now for Pisces? For Pisces, okay. Wow, Pisces, strong freaking message. Okay, you guys are getting the energy of Leo and Taurus. Big shockers there. I swear, Leo and Pisces, man, deeply entwined. Okay. Pisces, this is really interesting. Okay, you have the universe coming out and it says, embrace your role as co-creator and manifest your reality through your thoughts, inner thought, through the thoughts, inner thoughts, and actions you express. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about this, but I have had the feeling lately that like your wish is their command, you know? It is like, you know, sometimes it does feel like there's an ease in manifestation, and sometimes it just, everything seems kind of hard. And I think, you know, I don't know, my personal take on it is really that when we are really on the path, and a lot of things are divine timing. Not everything is supposed to work out in this moment, you know? Things are supposed to unfold gradually in our life, and there is a rhyme and a reason and an order. I do believe in the divine perfection of the utter chaos that we experience and the way we go through life. But it's like something is laid out before you. And this is like reminding me that, you know, we have to bring our mental awareness to the kind of life we want, and we have to keep it really focused there. You know, this is giving me the energy of the Two of Wands, and it's like there is this thing that works hand in hand. It's when we use our free will choices to support what it is we're asking the universe for. So like if you ask the universe to, I don't know, help you get $1 million in the bank, but you aren't using your free will choices to support that, it's not going to happen. And so it's like, it's just, it makes me feel this energy of the I don't know why I want to say coalescing, because that's not the right word, but it's the joint, it's the duality of taking things in our own hands when we have the opportunity and making the choices that support what it is we're asking for, what it is we're trying to manifest. The crown chakra is showing up here, and it says, crossing the boundaries of the material world. Invite the wisdom of the universe, consciousness, and embrace your role as the channel of divine light and love. I always feel like kind of this sentiment is what's wrong with people manifesting, for example, $1 million. When, you know, trying to manifest $1 million and like rubbing on that genie lamp, or, you know, just the energy of like, I want $1 million or whatever. To me, it is like, that's sort of called a pipe dream, right? But when what you do is you seek to tap into the universal consciousness and the wisdom and your role and your soul purpose, the $1 million falls into your lap. Like, that's just a side effect of that. So, you know, it is sort of asking ourselves, where do I fit into all of this? How can I be of service? You know, how can I tap into something in a productive and abundant way, you know? Not just for myself, but for the collective consciousness. And then you have Leo. As you walk your path, remember that your strength is not only in the spotlight, but also in the shadows, where you can uncover the depths of your soul. Man, ain't that the truth? You know, it always feels good when the sun is shining on us, and when, you know, things are aligning, and when things are just sort of working out and falling into our laps, right? But that's not always what happens. And a lot of times, the majority of the time, we spend, you know, doing the heavy lifting, removing the barriers that we have put in our own way that stand between us and what it is we want, or the life we want. And so if we spend the time to, you know, instead of seeking the spotlight all the time, but to say, oh, I'm in the shadows, well, great, now I can clean out my closet. Now I can get rid of all this crap that I don't need in here. I can look at my shadows because I'm not in the spotlight. No one's watching me. You know, when we embrace those moments and we use them to their highest effectiveness, and we don't say, oh my gosh, I'm not in the spotlight, this is the worst thing ever. But we say, wow, what can be gained when we're in the shadows? You know, it helps. Then you have Taurus on the bottom of the deck, and it says, your perseverance can move mountains over time. But remember that bending with the winds of change doesn't weaken your strength. Yeah, you know, we don't have to be stubborn. We don't have to have it our way. We don't have to insist on one particular outcome. You know, it is good to persevere. It is good to have stick-to-itiveness. It is good to, you know, not give up on the things that we want. But it is also good to recognize and to realize when there are other opportunities and options that may be more forthcoming for a reason. And may be a smaller step toward the larger goal in the end. Man, Pisces, Lord. Pisces, I feel this energy, and I mean, this just keeps coming up. It is like a past person. I can't get around it. I'm sorry about it. I honestly think that, you know, that you have choices coming up, okay? And I don't think that it's necessarily just that, like, I honestly feel there's almost a synergy of where spirit really wants you to know the effect that you have on other people. Because I feel this energy of, like, almost feeling rejected and sort of an attack on my own self-worth because people are not choosing me or people are not valuing what I'm offering them. When in fact, I think people do value what they offer you. But I think it is one of those where it sometimes is like after the fact, or, you know, it's, I don't know, it happens in such a way in which the person is like embarrassed or ashamed to like say, hey Pisces, you had this effect on me. Like, they're not coming back around to you to give you credit or to let you know. Or maybe they will, but it just takes a long time. I don't know. I don't know what this is, but it's kind of like, I feel like spirit really wants to make it clear to you that like you do have a profound transformative effect on the people around you. All right. I feel like you have someone here who, may have even been a bit afraid to love, you know, may have even been someone who had a pretty guarded heart. I feel like it's guarded here. Let me grab a drink of tea. I've had a tickle in my throat since this reading started. And I, like, it's just weird. It's so random. I, like, didn't have it before. I always feel like sometimes that may mean that someone's really trying to get up the courage to say something in real life. But it just feels like someone had a bit of a guarded heart, and you came in, and what you showed this person that's possible in connecting with another person, I just feel like that person had never experienced before, and I feel like it changed them. It made them someone that realized that they had a choice. They could continue on being emotionally closed off, or they could continue the process that started with you, and they could dig deeper, and they could open up, and they could become friends with their emotions. Like, I don't know why that's coming out, but that's what's coming out. This person, it says your love brings warmth I never knew I needed. When something's turned off, it's still a part of you, right? That's turned off. And there's like empty space there, or there's nothing happening there. And you may just be like, fine, it's turned off. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to deal with it. Like, maybe that is just fine. But then when someone turns it on and you're like, oh man, like I'm just thinking about my bathtub for whatever reason. And it's like, our last house I didn't have a bathtub. And so I didn't take baths. We weren't there that long. But anyway, I didn't take baths. And then I got a house with a bathtub, and I just had really gotten out of the like whatever of taking a bath. And then I took one hot bath. And then I started making a list for myself of things I wanted to accomplish every week. I wanted to read for 3 days. I wanted to paint 3 days a week. I wanted to take a bath twice a week. I wanted to, like, all these things that I just wanted to make sure I was carving out time to do for myself. And it was just me with me, for me, making promises to myself, and then keeping them. And now I read every day. Now I take a hot bath every day. And oftentimes I read in the bathtub. But everything you didn't want to know. But what I'm telling you is just that we get out of the habit, right? And it doesn't mean that, like, it wasn't a good thing for us, or that we didn't love it, or that it wasn't awesome. It's that we stopped thinking about it. We just stopped doing it. And then it's like you get reintroduced to it, and maybe you just get reintroduced to it once, and you're like, God, I forgot how good it feels to take a bath. That feeling of the hot water going over your shoulders, that just feels amazing. Like, how I forgot how that felt. I forgot what it felt to say, I'm going to take a bath, and know that you're going to get 30 minutes of privacy all to yourself to just think, or watch YouTube videos, or read your book, or whatever. Just for yourself, and put the most luxurious stuff in there that you want to put in there, but fill yourself with things just that make you feel good. And to prioritize that, to make that important. And it's like Pisces, you came in and you ran this person a hot bath. You became the bathtub. And they were like, oh my God, this feels so good. I forgot how good this feels. And I think they started kind of opening up to it. I don't think that they were really like, how do I want to say, like, trying to open up to it or seeking to open up to it. It's just sort of like, oh yeah, this feels kind of good. It's here. Okay. Like that. And that's all awesome, right? But you have to take care of the bathtub too. You can't just take. You have to give back. And I think that when it's like, when some type of conversation was had of, hey, we need to, like, make this reciprocal, or like, if we're going to do this much, we need to make sure that we're taking care of it. Like, I don't even know how to say this, but it's like, but it feels like that kind of sentiment or that kind of conversation like woke this person up, and they were like, oh, I'm getting way too used to this hot bath. I better, I might someday live in a house that doesn't have a bathtub, or maybe this bathtub is gonna break or whatever. I better not be so reliant on this bathtub. Maybe I need to like take some space from the bathtub. Maybe I need to go a while without having a bath so that I can, not get too attached to this, so I cannot need a bathtub. And and I feel like they pulled away or something. And it's kind of like, I don't understand why you're pulling away. What I'm providing for you feels good. It feels good to me. It feels good to you. Like, I like being appreciated. I like being in the bathtub. But like, also, I need you to clean me every once in a while, or I need you to like, make sure I'm okay too. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I sometimes I find myself in my analogies being like, what the hell am I saying here? But you guys always seem to follow me, so I just keep doing it. But the thing is, it's like, so I think the bathtub and the person parted ways. And I think the bathtub was sad because I think the bathtub liked the person. And I think the person was sad because the person liked the bathtub. And there really wasn't a good reason why the bathtub and the person parted ways, other than the person became aware that the bathtub had needs and that they were going to have to be honest and genuine and invest something and be responsible to something and have an expectation. And I think that freaked the person out, and I think they ran away from the bathtub. And I feel like both the bathtub and the person are sad without each other. It says, I miss who we used to be. It felt good. It was good. It felt good. And I feel like that's caused an exploration within this person as to why they were not able to choose the bathtub, something that felt so good. And, taking a hot bath, making a list like that and keeping those promises to yourself, that is the energy of self-love, right? That is the energy of, I prioritize myself. I deserve to treat myself a certain way. And if I'm going to give all this to other people, then I damn sure better be giving to myself. I need to be on my list at the very least, if not the top. And it feels like this person was like, why am I so anti-me and what feels good? Because that's what it feels like. It feels like this person is against themselves. And I think it's led this person to an inner exploration for sure. It says, forgive what you didn't know, you're still learning, and I'm choosing healing over hurt. And so I feel like this person was like, okay, like, I can't believe I didn't choose the bathtub. The bathtub was only good. The bathtub only ever made me feel better. The bathtub only ever made me feel like I was special and that I was important and that I was worthy. Why couldn't I choose the bathtub? Why didn't I choose the bathtub? And I think the first step is forgiving ourselves so that we can explore it, so that we can look into it, so that we're not all hung up on, I'm stupid, I'm a fool, I didn't pick the bathtub. So we have to come to a place where we can get distance between us and beating ourselves up for our choice. And that requires us to forgive ourselves for the choice that we made, so that we can come to a place of peace and acceptance, however it is. But then we have to learn from these things. It's like Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you do better. And this person knows better. They know that not choosing the bathtub was something that they may regret for a really long time. And so what caused them to not be able to choose the bathtub? They were choosing the hurt over the healing. They were letting the hurt shut their bathtub water off instead of healing so that they could sit in the tub and give back to the tub and let the tub take care of them. And then you have this energy that says, why can't you see my heart? And then let light fill spaces once occupied by sorrow. And the reason someone couldn't see this person's heart, it's like they wanted you to read their mind, or they wanted you to understand what they couldn't say. They wanted you to understand that they were choosing the bathtub because they were in the bathtub, and that they were maybe choosing the bathtub more than they were vocalizing. And so they wanted you to just be able to see into their heart so that they didn't have to vocalize. But you can't see something that's buried and hidden. You can't reach something so deep inside someone without them giving you access to it. Plain and simple. And so it feels like little by little, this person is bringing light to the shadow. They're accepting this moment as it is, where they are not with their bathtub, to be letting the light shine in the cracks and show them what needs to be healed, so that they can go back and have this relationship with something that feels so good. Guys, I don't know. But you're fish, you're Pisces. So a water analogy, I'm hoping. Here we go. Jesus. Okay, there's just a really intense energy here. Things can change on a dime. You know, it's crazy, right? You can be walking down the street and meet the love of your life, and your life will never be the same. Like one step away from where you're standing right at this exact moment in time. It all changes in a heartbeat. In fact, most changes do happen in a heartbeat that are really like life-changing. And that's what this is giving me. It's like, don't get too deeply entrenched in where you're at, because it feels like there are things changing in heartbeats here. So you have this energy of like twin flames, yin yang, balance, union, duality. Something is coming together that has been in separation. And it feels like it has the potential to come together for a very long time. This energy keeps coming up in your readings where it's like, this could be your person, your forever person, Pisces. But it takes one thought sometimes for things to completely change within a person, how they see things, how they respond to things, what they think about things, what they're capable of, what they do. And it sometimes takes like one conversation, one look, one word, one this, one that, for things to change. Like, they can change on a dime. Let's dive into the tarot. For Pisces, please, Spirit, for Pisces. Wow, when you say for Pisces, please, Spirit, and the High Priestess comes flying out. Ay, ay, ay. Woo! Okay, so there's definitely a transformation happening here. I mean, you guys keep getting the death card too. I feel like, I don't know if that's true or not, but it feels like it. You have the 7 of coins on the bottom of the deck. So first of all, an element here that we need to keep in mind, or that is really strongly at play, is divine timing. You know, the day you plant the seed isn't the day it ripens. And I feel like this is part of your main message here, Pisces, is that just because it may look like something isn't taking root doesn't mean that it's not taking root. It just doesn't. I don't know, but that's exactly what it is. Like, that's coming through extremely strongly. So don't give up on something too soon or something. It's not, I do not want to say that, because people are going to take that the wrong way. I'm not saying if somebody has walked away to like sit there and wait. I'm definitely not an advocate for that. And that is completely your choice. But I'm saying you can move on, but don't think that the seed hasn't been planted. Don't think that just because, I don't know, you're not seeing anything happen doesn't mean there's nothing happening there. There's a major transformation taking place. Freak. This like tickle in the back of my throat is driving me insane. So you have the High Priestess here, and then you have the 10 of Coins and the 10 of Swords and the Death card. And Pisces, this is like, I feel this is you standing your ground. I feel like this is you staying true to yourself. I feel like this is you not letting something drag you down with it. It's like, I am beholden to one thing, and that is my highest and best, and listening to my intuition. And whatever my intuition is telling me, that's what I'm doing. And with the High Priestess here, I feel like you really are not speaking so much, or withholding your energy and your words and all the bathtub energy. You're withholding that from someone. And this person is in a place in their life where they are ready to close out a majorly difficult cycle. You know, and it does feel a lot, you know, it's the 10 of Swords. And the 10 of Swords, it's, you know, killing ourselves with the things that we say to ourselves. And, you know, can that come from messaging we've received from others over the years? Absolutely. You know, I can still hear my mother's voice in my ears, like, you know, beating me up. And, you know, I have to just acknowledge it and be like, okay, yeah, that's what that is. But I don't have to repeat that to myself. I did for a long time, but I don't have to. It's like my choice. And that's how you close out a 10 of Swords cycle. It's like you use that free will choice here to say, no, not anymore. Like, I'll observe it. I'm seeing it. I'm realizing that that must have had a profound effect on me. And I am going to try to nurture that place within myself that he was hurt by that, or that, you know, was wounded by that. But I'm not going to perpetuate that. That is not what I'm going to do. I am not taking that into my future. And I'm not repeating it. I'm not passing it on to my children. I'm just going to stop right here. And so I'm closing this cycle out. I can't go back and be the person I was before all those things were said to me. That would be lovely. But I can't. And, you know, maybe it wouldn't be lovely. I don't know. Who knows? We can't say for sure. But I can come to a place of acceptance that that is my truth. That is what happened to me. That is what was said. And I can say, I'm not going to give it my power. I'm not going to let it make me feel bad. I'm not going to repeat it, and I'm not going to pass it down. It's ending here now. I observe it leaving. Period. And that's the end of the cycle. And it's not that the thought never comes back. It's not that. It's that you just don't follow it down. You just don't go down the rabbit hole. You just don't give your power to it. you just stay strong. You stay the observer and you observe it and you go, man, that sucks. I'm sorry you went through that. Is there a place that's wounded? Is there a place that I need to tend to? Is there something else I can heal or nurture or love within myself that clearly was hurt by that? You know what I mean? But, you know, that's it. And once you do that enough times, you put space between you and all of that. And it doesn't own you. It doesn't control you. You're not walking around with 10 swords in your back anymore. You may have two. I'm not gonna lie and be like, there's nothing there, you know, but you have taken your power back from it, and you're no longer in that cycle. You've ended it. You put it to bed. And sometimes that's the best we can do. Come to a place of peace and say no more, you know. And I feel like that's what this person is doing. They may have been very hurt, and they may have experienced love in a very difficult way, you know, with very critical people, with people who said really awful, nasty things to them. Yeah. And, you know, those things can only keep us from our abundance or our highest and best experience if we let them. We're the ones that make that choice. We are. And with the 10 of coins here, it is like this person is like, man, all these things that I'm saying to myself, all these things that I'm believing about this situation, all these things that made me turn the bathwater off and walk away from the tub completely, that's in me. And I'm not perpetuating that anymore, because it's clearly standing in between me and the most abundance I can experience. And so there is a transformation taking place within someone that is very deep and very spiritual. And I think it is coming through, number one, your silence, but number two, your own pillar of consciousness, your own energy, you staying true to yourself. We cannot make anybody see. We can't change anyone else. All we can do is control our own actions and, you know, manifest, pray, hope, whatever. And I think through your actions, you are showing, you're leading this person to the water, you know? Yeah, you got a strong boundary up. I feel like this person went from feeling like things were really good in their life and that they had a lot to celebrate and they had a lot to feel good about, to feeling like they lost all that, boom, overnight. You know, with the loss of you, you've put a boundary up. You're like, I'm not accessible to you. I mean, High Priestess, 9 of Wands. You're not reaching out to them. You have cut off their access to your energy, and they're feeling it. They're feeling like their happiness is gone. Like any reason to celebrate or feel good in their life is completely upside down. They're just hemorrhaging it. With the Knight of Pentacles, that is this person going, okay, I know this is really hard, but I got to look at this 10 of Swords. I got to look at what made me turn the bathwater off and walk away from it when it felt so good, when it was so right. What was it in me? I've got to face it, and I've got to move away from it, as hard as that may be. I'm going to put one foot in front of the other with the Knight of Pentacles. This person may be trying to work their way back towards you. Holy shit. What a situation that is. You have the Ace of Wands with the Empress and the Emperor and the Sage of Wands on the bottom of the deck. So, you know, this is mastering our own desire. And this feels twofold, okay? I feel like for you, you may have a desire to be with this person or to reach out to this person or to talk to this person or to explain yourself to this person or to try to bridge the gap with this person or to give this person whatever they're willing to take just to have this person in your life. But you're learning that your power, that in order to master the energy of desire, you have to control it. And as much as you may want certain things, you know that it's not in your highest and best. And in exercising this power to master your desire, you are elevating. You are becoming a limitless manifester of what you desire because you're learning how to use that energy. This person is learning how to take responsibility and accountability and take their power back from the things that were preventing them from being in their power and going after what it is they want. So you're both learning how to master desire. Just the masculine way and the feminine way. Bam. Wow. Pisces, it's like you're hearing a call. It's like you're connected to spirit here. You have that crown chakra energy, you have the high priestess energy, and now you have this judgment energy on top of the Empress even. It's like you're learning how to really heed the call of your own intuition, your own inner voice, your own wisdom. You're learning how to sit with things and kind of let them come to you. We have the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. And this is really believing in your worth and your value. And this is really fucking knowing that, damn, you need someone who can say, wow, this bathtub is freaking amazing. This feels so good. I am so grateful. I am so appreciative. I see this. I see what it's capable of. I see how good it makes me feel. I see its restorative ability. I see how I can relax in the presence of it. I am appreciating every nuance of it. All I want to do is take care of this so that it's always there. You know you deserve that. And that supersedes everything else. Because if you don't get if you're always taking care of the other and the other isn't taking care of you, it ain't going to work. It's not going to last. You can only maintain that for so long. And then you've got this Emperor clarified by the Three of Wands. This is someone who's stepping into their power and they are planning and strategizing on taking action. They know it's on them to take the action because they now see your worth also, because you sat in your worth. You answered the call. You listened to your intuition. You didn't overgive no matter what. You allowed yourself to master the energy of the desire that was inside of you. Holy heck. Somebody is breaking out of silence. You have the Four of Swords on the bottom of the deck. You've got the Chariot and you've got Justice here. There's, this is Pisces. Like, I feel it's so funny. It's a Swords card, but it just feels very Piscean to me. You're occupying your own space. You're trusting yourself. You're trusting your intuition. You are not You're not chasing, you're not running, you're becoming comfortable in the silence and being comfortable within yourself. And also just the way she's sitting, you know, palms on the knees, that's closing an area where we leak a lot of energy, and it makes you stronger. It brings your energy in, it recirculates your energy, and that energy builds. You're not leaking it all over the place. And so there's just this energy of, you know, when I keep my own energy to myself and I'm not spending it on you, I am actually elevating. And there's almost like seeing the beauty and the purpose and the point in, you know, and not fearing being by yourself. It's kind of like, what I gave to you, I can also turn on myself and give to myself. And when I give it to myself, I rise. There's this lotus unfolding above her head. I expand. But this person is forcing them to make a decision to come forward here, to be the person that appreciates the bathtub. I bet you guys think I am like just literally wacky. Yeah. You got some fast moving energy here, Pisces. Normally with the Knight of Wands and the Six of Wands, I would be like, oh, holy hell no, get away. Like, this is someone that needs a lot of attention. They're looking for external validation. Like, this is like Leo energy if I've ever seen it. Maybe Aries, possibly Sagittarius. But, you know, I mean, Sagittarius is the Knight of Wands. But the Six of Wands is Leo. But it's like very intense energy. But this, we just discovered, was someone mastering their desire. And this is the major part of mastering your desire in the masculine form, which is the Emperor, of taking action. You know, not just sitting around, not just saying, oh, I wish I would, you know, I would love that, I would want that, but not taking any action. This is like, oh, hell no, I've kicked it into high gear. My desire is motivating me, it is moving me, and it is making me come forward. And the Six of Wands, you know, it is recognition and praise, and, you know, it is a lot of those things. But that wreath on that wand originally stood for engagement, you know, coming home after a long battle, successful, and going to the person who got you through, the memory of them and the thought of them got you through those difficult times and those difficult battles and those difficult days, and offering your love for eternity to them, you know. That is the engagement wreath, you know. So there's this energy of, you know, coming in hot but serious. And, you know, with the Chariot and the Knight of Wands, it's just saying to me that this person is elevating into a true partner, someone who can balance you out, someone who can match you stride for stride, someone who can be who you need them to be, who shares your vision and is wanting to move towards success and the finish line with you, a part of you, together with you, yoked with you forever, masculine to feminine. You know, that, you know, it goes without say, right, that the Empress and the Emperor, that's divine feminine and divine masculine energy. So you have a divine pair in this reading. This is like a deeply spiritual soulmate kind of vibe here. And then you have Justice with the Three of Swords in reverse. And this harkens back to that Ten of Swords energy, where with the Death card, where it's like, there are these things that I'm telling myself over and over that I have to stop telling myself if I want to be able to make this choice, if I want to be strong enough to make this decision, to be brave and to choose love and to choose this person that's going to challenge me, that is going to make me feel vulnerable because I care, because I love them, because I don't want to lose them, because I've become dependent on the bathtub. Like, you know, they've got to go to those parts of themselves that are wounded, that don't allow them to believe that this is possible, that they can make this choice, that they can commit to this. And it seems like they have, you know, because the Three of Swords is in reverse here. And the Judgment, and the Justice is there. You definitely have somebody making a major decision about you, Pisces. Holy crap. And you guys keep getting the Sun. Oh my God. This is freaking me out. Seriously. You got the Emperor and the Empress in the same shuffle. Now you're getting the Sun and the Moon. Also divine masculine and divine feminine energy. This is in its most primal form. Okay. And you had the Ace of Wands with the Emperor and the Empress. And now you have the Ace of Coins with the Sun and the Moon. Like, what in the Sam hell? Now you have all these sixes also. You have the Six of Wands. Now you have the Six of Swords. There's an energy of coming into alignment. There's an energy of, you know, becoming the frequential match for, you know, your person. And that's not you doing that, Pisces. That's them doing that. That's them understanding how they need to show up. This is complete clarity. And the Sun is also a tremendously healing energy. The Sun can also talk about a reconciliation of soulmates. And just look at this gorgeous expression of the Moon. It is reminding me, one of the other days, I don't know if it was a reading on this channel or my other channel, but it was like showing me the Moon and like the relationship between the light and the dark, and how as the light grows, the dark lessens, and how the dark grows, the light lessens, and how those two things play with each other and move together and are like one, you know, and they correlate and they're related, obviously. But this is just bringing me back to that energy of whatever that was. Okay. I can't even remember. But this is like, it does feel like someone is revealing something to you. It does feel like, what? Wow. Yeah, it feels like someone who, it feels like they rejected you is now like saying, no, I actually have really deep feelings for you. Like that, I wasn't rejecting you. I was rejecting myself. I was saying I didn't deserve the bathtub. I wasn't saying you're a bad bathtub. Yeah, guys, I don't know. Oh my God. I love you guys. But anyway, this energy is, you know, it's saying there's a new beginning. There is this new opportunity, and it's solid and it's stable. And now we're in a better energy. Now we're in a better place. Now, you know, we've learned how to master our desire for one another, or whatever this is. We've taken accountability, or we've you know, even though I want you, I'm not chasing you, and I'm not just giving myself away for free. I'm sitting in my worth and my value. If I'm the feminine, if I'm the masculine, I don't just want you. I'm coming forward and I'm taking action. You know, I'm coming toward you. I'm acting on what I want, my desire here. So there's definitely something that is coming to the light, that's being revealed, that is going to bring a calm, steady, stable energy to this connection. You guys keep getting the Two of Swords. I've seen that Two of Swords so many times in the last recent bit, and that's a Libra energy. That fear that made me stagnant, that fear that made me stuck, I'm taking my power back. I'm clearly looking at it. I have let all the sun shine into my shadows, right? And I am choosing healing over hurt. And I am not going to stay stuck. Not a minute more. I've got an opportunity with a soulmate here. 3 sixes. Woo! All right, Pisces. Let me get you some message cards. I'm choosing what I want. I'm choosing this solid and stable new beginning. Woo! I've become a match. I faced my shadows and I became a match. I let the sun shine on them and I did it. I figured it out. I hope you guys are feeling this. Like, woo! All right. If you're dealing with a water sign, I am sorry I triggered you. I miss you more than you know. Cold. I can't stop thinking of you. If you're dealing with a fire sign, you're getting old flames. I don't want to miss my chance with you. Repressing. And I remember everything you said. And if you are dealing with an earth sign, the messages aren't really coming out a lot today. You're getting wishy-washy, wait for me, I am still moved by you, and you will always be my secret love. I had to go through the deck twice to get 4 messages. I don't know what that's about. A lot of times I'll get like 6 that just come flying out. If you're dealing with an air sign, you hit me out of nowhere. I thought about reaching out, but I don't know what to say. I want a future with you. And I am overcoming my fears. Wowie zowie. All right, Pisces, this is what I have for you. This reading feels a bit electric, you know, with the Emperor and Empress, the sun and the moon coming out together, all the 6 energy. The 6s are that unity and harmony and coming together kind of energy and becoming a frequential match kind of energy. It feels like someone that's been dancing around the outside and hasn't been, you know, really able to show up is like going through whatever it is they need to go through in order to figure out how the hell to show up for you. And, whoops. And, it feels like a major shift. And it does feel like it is in both of you learning how to master this energy of desire. That, you know, like just wanting to like arbitrarily go off after what you want and desire. It's not always the right thing, right? It's not always, that isn't always the best tactic. And we started off here with this universe energy, which is reminding us that we're co-creating with the universe, and then we're using our free will choices to support that co-creation energy. We're not just asking the universe for what we want or just using our own free will energy to create what we want. We're doing both. Those two things are working hand in hand. So just keep that in mind, okay? Because it just feels very profound after I'm looking at the tarot. You know, sometimes when I'm cleaning up the cards after I do readings, I'll get like so many more messages. And it feels like that's what's happening now. So maybe I will just keep recording while I'm cleaning up messages. I don't know. When I feel like it, I guess. Anyway, guys, this is what I have for you. I hope it helps. I hope it brings you some peace and some clarity. I am sending you all my best. Go take a hot bath. I love you. Bye-bye.